Hello everyone. Today we're going to have the second part of area model probability. I will put the link of the other part of this area model probability in the description box below. In this problem right here, we have Wood Creek High School conducted a survey whether they are right-handed or left-handed, and these are the results over here. So we need to fill this in first with values. In order that we can get these values here, this is area model. That means we are multiplying these two. But before we multiply those numbers here, we need to change this to decimal first. So this is 0.20. This is 0.30. This is 0.35. This is 0.15. This is 0.70. This is 0.30. And then from here, we're going to multiply them. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and do this problem on your own. Fill this table in, and when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so let's see what you got here. So using calculator, we multiply these two numbers here. These are the answers here: 0.14, 0.06, 0.21, 0.09, 0.245, 0.105, 0.105, and this is 0.045. Okay, now we are going to determine probabilities now. So let's take this first example. So let's take these two right here. So we're supposed to find the probability that if I go to this school, what is the probability that when I ask random students in there, I can ask an 11th grader? So to do that, I am going to go to 11th grader here, and the total for this is 0.35. So this is 0.35, or in percentage, this is 35%. What does this number mean? So if I go there, 35% of the time I ask random people. So I go to the overhang, or I go to their field, or I go to the school and I ask random students from that school, from this Wood Creek High School. If I ask random students from there, 35% of the time I would be able to ask an 11th grader. What about the 9th grader? What have you thought? Good. 9th grader would be 20%, or 0.20, or that is 20% of the time you'd be able to ask a 9th grader. Now let's take another example. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and do this problem on your own, and when you're done, unpause it to check your answer. Okay, what is the probability that you're gonna ask left-handed? We don't care what grades they're in, but we are concerned if they're left-handed or right-handed. Have you thought of an answer already? Good. So the probability that if it's gonna be left-handed is this. So that is 0.30, or 30% of the time you're gonna get student, or you're gonna be able to ask a student that's left-handed. And right-handed would be 0.70, or 70% of the time. When you go there and ask random students, you will be able to ask a right-handed student 70% of the time. Did you get the same answers as this? Good. Perfect. Now let's have another example here. So let's take this one. What is the probability that when you go to this school, given this data that we have up here on the table, the probability is you get a 10th grader or above. 10th grader or above. In the previous problem, we only asked for 11th grader, but this time around, we want to know the probability that you will be able to ask a 10th grader or above. So 10th grader or above means this three. So it can be a sophomore, a junior, or a senior. So what are the numbers that we're adding? So here we're going to add 0.30. So it says 10th grader or above. So I go 0.30 plus 0.35 plus 0.15. And the answer to this, if we add all of these, is 0.8 or 80%. What does this number mean? When you go to the school, when you go to the overhang, or when you go to the atrium, 80% of the time you will be able to ask a 10th grader or above. That means 80% of the time you'd be able to ask a 10th grader, 11th grader, or 12th grader student. So that means if you ask 10 students from there, 8 of those students every time would be 10th, 11th, and 12th grader. I would want you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. Okay, what did you have for this? Let's see what you got. So 11th grader or above. So 11th grader and above are these two. So that means it's going to be 0.35 plus 0.15. And if we add these two, that is 0.5 or 50% of the time. So that means when you go out there and ask random students from this school, 50% of the time would be 11th grader or above. That means 11th grader or 12th grader. Did you get the same answer as this? Good. Perfect. Now let's have another example here. So what is the probability that when you go to this school, you're going to be able to ask a 12th grader or left-handed? So you can see 12th grader or left-handed, it means this 12th grader and left-handed at the same time. So the previous examples that we did, those were just all one direction. This time around, there's like an intersection between these two. So there's like two columns involved. So how do we do this problem? So first, we have a special formula for this. So this is the formula up here. This is the probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A plus the probability of B minus the probability of A and B. Just a reminder that each of these numbers are actually AND. This means 9th grader and right-handed. This is 11th grader and left-handed. This is 10th grader and right-handed. This is 12th grader and left-handed. So these numbers are AND, but we're solving for the OR now. So here's the step that we need to do. First, we are going to define each of these as A or B. So this will be our A, and this will be our B. So then if we plug these values in, the probability that it's an A, which is 12th grader, is 0.15. So I'm gonna plug the values in here. So probability of A, our A is 12th grader, it's 0.15. So 0.15 plus the probability of B, our B here is left-handed, it's 0.30. So I'm gonna put plus 0.30 and then minus the probability of A and B. Remember, all these numbers are AND. So this is probability is 12th grader and left-handed is 0.045. And then from here, I can simplify this to be 0.45 minus 0.045. If you use the calculator, the final answer here would be 0.0, or that's 0.405 or 40.5% of the time. So that's the answer right there. So this is the answer. So what does this mean? 41% of the time when you go to this school and ask random students, you will be able to ask a 12th grader or left-handed. That's what this number means. Now, at this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, again, the fastest way that we can do is to label the parts here. That this will be our A. this 10th grader would be our A, and this right-handed would be our B. And so we got the formula over here. Probability of A or B is equal to the probability of A. So the probability of A is 10th grader. So 10th graders right here. So that is 0.30. So this is 0.30 plus the probability of right-handed is 0.70 minus the probability of A and B. So remember, that's 10th grader, and right-handed is this. This is the and. Remember, each of these is and. So minus 0.21. So then we are able to get 1 minus 0.21. So the answer right here is 0.79. That's 79. So 0.79, or 79% of the time when you go to the school, you're going to be able to ask a 10th grader or right-handed. Did you get the same answer as this? Good. Perfect. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!